Hello, well, I wonder if you have ever struggled to pray. I know I have, and sometimes for quite extended periods of time, and actually, this has happened to me quite recently. So, I want to share with you today what I did about that because actually it really lifted me. So, I'm sharing it in the hope that if you happen to be struggling to pray, it might lift you too. Well, I cried out to God and I just said, Lord, I'm struggling to pray. I don't know why, but I am really struggling to pray. And in that moment, I felt like God said to me, just pray the Lord's Prayer whenever you remember. And I knew that that was a word from God to me. And there's two reasons I knew that. Firstly, because it was really, really simple. And I was in a place where it needed to be really simple. I've known the Lord's Prayer since I was a child, and therefore to pray it was something that I could very easily do. But the second reason I knew it was from God was because the instruction to do it as often as I remembered had to have come from somebody that knows me really, really well and loves me really, really deeply. Because I'm the person that if I make a resolution to sit down at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning and do a particular thing, by the third day it will have lapsed and I will be feeling guilty about it. But when you're prompted to do something as often as you remember, there will never be any guilt attached to it. Because if you forget, it doesn't matter, you just do it when you remember. So that's how I knew it was God speaking. It was simple, and there was no possibility of my managing to feel guilty. So I began to pray the Lord's Prayer, and as I did so, my spirit gently began to lift, and I was enabled to pray again in other areas too. And I was thinking about why that was, and I realised that the Lord's Prayer is a prayer that kind of covers every area of our life. It covers how we relate to God, that we can relate to Him as our perfect parent. It covers how great He is, so that we're reminded to worship Him. It acknowledges our dependence upon Him and it asks Him to provide for us. It gives us the opportunity to come to Him in humility and offering no excuses to say, Lord, I've sinned, please forgive me, knowing that He will forgive us our sin and free us from shame. It does all these things in such a simple prayer that many of us have known since childhood. It really is an invaluable prayer, especially for those occasions when we don't really feel we know how to pray. So today I just want to encourage you to begin to think about really intentionally using the Lord's Prayer. Yes, because it is simple and helpful, but mostly because this is how Jesus taught us to pray. And that must mean it is the best way to pray. And if we're praying as Jesus taught us to pray, then we can be absolutely sure that we're praying in alignment with His will and that He will answer. Anyway, that is my thought for the day. So God bless you. Have a wonderful day.